For more on this, let's bring in spokesman for Israeli Defense Forces, Major Doron Spielman. Major, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, Mike.
The father of a 19-year-old who's been held hostage since October 7th is expressing some frustration about a lack of communication. Let's play it, and I'll get you to respond, sir.
The Israeli government is not talking to the families. I thought he was kidding me. The idea of the assumption that the land operation will somehow bring Sinwar to his knees and he will beg to give back the hostages evidently isn't a strategy that's working too well.
How do you respond, Major?
I got to tell you, Mike, I hear that father, and I would never want to be in his place. None of us would want to be in his place. It's tragic, and I know he's speaking from a place of pain. And the entire IDF, myself included, is dedicated to bringing those people home. We do believe that we cannot rely on Hamas's goodwill. Hamas is an evil terror machine that took those people hostage in the first place. And the only way that we're going to bring them to the negotiating table once again is when they feel, Mike, that their back is to the wall and they have nowhere to go, because those people for them are nothing more than a bargaining chip. And my message to this gentleman and to so many other families, we're all family, is that we are risking our lives in order to do this. And we're going to do everything we can, not only to bring their children home, but to destroy Hamas so that the next wave of families in the future won't have to deal with this. We won't be creating the hostages of the future.
The accidental killing of 3 hostages by IDF forces, do you have a good sense of what went wrong there, sir?
We do. We've done a thorough analysis. This is an incredibly tragic day for the Israeli people. This is the last thing we wanted to happen. Our forces did go against our rules of engagement, which is, very severe. And we've clarified this now throughout the entire military, that if somebody is not wearing a shirt and holding up a white flag, whether they are Israeli or Gazan, that is not someone that can be engaged. And, we're enforcing this, but at the same time, I have to say, we understand where it comes from. I mean, this isn't a video game. This is the most difficult hostage rescue probably in world history. It's a concrete jungle. It's an urban jungle. Terrorists are popping out behind corners, shooting. They go into a tunnel, and before you know it, they're behind you. They're shooting RPGs, and our soldiers have been in there for 70 days, and we understand what they're dealing with, and we're meeting them together on the battlefield. And, we're here to support our soldiers, and at the same time, make very clear, we have to be even more precise, so God forbid this never happens again. However, this has no impact, Mike, on the final goal, which is the ground campaign and the absolute destruction of Hamas. There's nothing else being considered.
How is the ground offensive into Gaza going, in your view?
We are taking operations in 3 major different areas, 2 cities in the north, Jabalia and Sajaiya, and in the south in Khan Yunis. In all of those areas, we've taken over hundreds of tunnels. We just released footage of the largest tunnel we've ever found. It's large enough to drive a subway train into, and it's it's almost 4 kilometers long, and it's right near what used to be a humanitarian crossing until Hamas destroyed it. Our troops are engaging terrorists, and when we look at our engagements, we're killing hundreds of terrorists, blowing up their tunnels, taking over their infrastructure. We've captured tons of documents, and we also captured hundreds of fighters that we've been interrogating. And so if we look at the battle rhythm and where we're heading, we're making excellent progress, but it's extremely difficult because as close as we get, Mike, and Hamas gets pressured and desperate, those civilians and those hostages are being thrown even more than ever before in the line of fire. And so it's demanding more of us, but we're approaching our goal, but it's going to take time. Like Trey said, it's going to take time.
Major Doron Spielman, thank you so much for your time today, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike.